Hello, Namaskaram. This is CA Lijil Lakshman. Today I'm back with another tea talk, which I would like to answer or give my opinion on three prominent question which is there in the mind of people who are preparing for their examination, particularly CA examination. So question number one, how many hours should I study for clearing CA examination? Question number two is like, how do I schedule my day? Okay. Question number three, should I study in the morning or should I study in the evening? Okay, this is another question that people generally used to ask me. So let us break each one of the question and give my opinion on each of it. So first one would be how many hours of preparation I should keep for clearing out this particular examination. So first of all, my opinion to people who are looking into achieving a particular period of time for examination, I would tell them that never do that particular kind of a preparation for your examination. Reason being, I am someone who tried on keeping that particular time because I had seniors who had told me like for clearing out CA you need to study for 15 hours, 16 hours. I used to think like how exactly people can study for 16 hours, but like you need to sleep for 6 to 7 hours. So then how do we study for balance entire period of time? So later I went on to create a plan to make sure that I study for about 12 to 13 hours per day. So this is how the plan has been kept on. But my target was on keeping time. So what I did, which was a little funny, is that I kept a timer where I used to go and check whenever I study how much time I have spent for studies. I did this particular process for a couple of days, and now the initial day my timer said 10 hours. I was like super happy. But then I wanted to compare with other friends and then keep it growing. So I called my friend, like, how many hours do you study? He said 12 hours. And I said, okay, tomorrow I'm going to touch 12 hours. So even when now I'm having food, I'll just have a book, near to me, and I'll look into the timer when it is running or not. So the second evening, I got a real good understanding on how my preparation was going. I looked into the timer. I had like 12 hours, 5 minutes of time spent on studies. Brilliant job. I was like really happy. Then later at that night, I was looking into what exactly I have studied. So if you really analyze, when you're too cautious about the time that you spend for something, you really lose the focus, or we call it as the flow of action. So the moment you lose the flow of action, your effective productive time for studies is going to be very less. Now, even though I'm talking about studies, it is same for everything. So I have seen a lot of friends of mine who brag about working for 15, 16 hours per day. I think if you're working for 15, 16 hours, your productivity is absolutely going to be affected. So working more or studying more number of hours is not a parameter to look at your productivity or your success either. So according to me, what you have to exactly do is to keep a target and effectively spend the time. Okay. So if you are a student who is full time into studies, I don't think there is anything else that you have to do. I will simply put in some tricks and plans that I have executed, which gave me a lot number of hours that otherwise that I would take. So I'll give you that understanding in a bit. But before that, let me tell you again that timing is not important. What is important for you is that you need to have a target either for a day or for a week, and then you should always try to achieve that. Meticulous planning, that is one of the core pillars of any successful examination. So make sure that you create a target based, target oriented plan, and then you feel that happiness when you achieve that particular target, and then go ahead in that particular order. Now, how the planning was working for me. So I was looking into creating a work day planner, day schedule, wherein I would be able to take like about 12 to 13 hours of time spent on studies. Maybe like if I spend 12 to 13 hours of time with all the fatigue that I'll have, with all the distractions that we have, we will be effectively able to spend like 8 to 10 hours of time into reading focused. That was more than sufficient for me to complete the topics that I had given as a target for me. So what I used to do is that I used to divide that particular day. Okay, so we have the day. Either you can say I'm going to answer that last question as well, whether I have to study in the morning or in the evening. That's always up to you. Now, which is the best time for you to study? Is it the morning or is it the night? What is your likings? Now you had an answer in your mind, right? That's the best time for you. There is no real best time globally we can apply. You, whatever is working best for you, you have to just go ahead and then do it. That's all. So you can either keep this session in the morning or in the evening, like depending upon what is working well for you. So I used to study early morning when I was doing my CA finals, like back in 2013, 14. So at that particular time, I used to wake up a little early, like 5:30 to 6 o'clock is the time that when I start studying. So I had divided my entire day into 4 sessions. That's how it used to work. So I have a session called as early morning session, which would be starting from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock, which used to be the best of sessions because I'm fully focused, I'm fresh in the morning after the bath and all that. So I'm again, going to study those topics which are very tough for me, or those topics which otherwise require a lot of focus, like maybe reading corporate law, something that I did throughout that particular time. Then, like after 9 o'clock, I used to take a breakfast break because we had to prepare the breakfast and then have it. So I used to break for that. Like there's a 1 hour break that we all take. I had roommates who were studying with me, so it's not a combined study. I was in my room and then studying. So after that, we start another session from 10 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock was the session 2. So you see, by the time you're at 1 o'clock, you have effectively taken 6 hours of your time for studies. So that's for at CA final level, that's a good progress that you're making. So morning you've solidly sat for 3 hours. You had a 1 hour lavish break, like when you're cooking. Your mind gets cleaned out, like your overthinking gets sorted out there. So that's a very good activity to do. So 1 o'clock you again break. You break for another 1 hour, like lavish break. You have you have your lunch. You have some time to relax, chit chat with your friends, but not too long. Don't get into social media or watching YouTube because you get hooked to it. So that without you even knowing, you will take a lot of time there. Then 2 o'clock another session starts till 5 o'clock, and this happened to be the most important session. Always I used to prefer doing a problem based paper there. The reason being, if it's a problem based paper, 2 to 5 is the time that I'm going to write the examination. So I should have my brain actively working at that particular time. Plus, doing a theory subject right after lunch, your metabolism will not let you be at the best of productivity. So it's always better you work out the questions so that you effectively use that particular time. Then from at the time of 5 o'clock, there used to be a very big break. 5 to almost 6:30, there is nothing. We just go for a walk, have a tea, and then have conversations, maybe do a little of exercise, then relax and then take bath and be back. Like 6:30, 7 o'clock, the next session starts. There is no break that we're going to take for dinner, because I don't think dinner is something that you have to have a great meal. So generally that used to happen anytime the dinner is ready, then we just go and have it, like 15 minutes. That's all the time that we spend for that, and it's like quick bite of food. So it's not like you take another solid 1 hour, have dinner. No, that's never used to happen. So like by 10 o'clock you have 12 hours finished with lavish number of breaks. Then the most important time of that particular day comes in, which is 10 to 11, wherein we revise the entire topic that is being studied from the morning till the evening. We just look into a note that is being maintained and then just revise whatever has been done, so that our brain requires that activity to consolidate whatever we have done. And then we have given a target topic, and like maybe out of the target topic of 10 items, we might have 5 filled, we might have 8 filled, or we might have 2 filled, but that's completely fine. I just have 2 filled. So all that matters is that I'll have to move forward. Okay, so this used to work amazingly well. And maybe if you're struggling to create a plan, or you wanted to know how much you have to study, always I suggest that don't take more than 3 subjects per day. If you're taking 1 practical subject, then take 2 theory subjects. Don't take too many subjects, because you will not have substantial portion covered in a particular day. So that might again act as a deterrent for your satisfaction. But if you're someone who can actually study throughout the day and just one subject the entire day and effectively put time, that's the best thing that you can do. Just go ahead and then finish off a subject. That gives you a large amount of confidence when it comes to preparation. So it's very important that you know these smaller tips for your examination. I hope there has been some validation with this particular session. So thank you. Have a tea, have a chamomile tea, and then enjoy. Get back to your preparation. Bye-bye.